Well, hello there, everyone. Welcome to the True Pop Culture 7 show. I'm your host, True Pop, here to laugh and think about pop culture stupidity. Before we get on with the show, I wanted to make a special announcement. Let me just screen share it. The channel has officially hit the required watch hours for monetization.
Nice.
As always, I want to thank all my viewers. Thank you so much for watching. When I first made this channel, I never thought I'd get this far. Yeah. So right now, I'm just waiting on the YouTube overlords to check the channel. The only little thing I'm worried about is they might not consider my content monetizable, but I think it is transformative. They might hit me with some kind of you reused content or something like that. But
To be
hoping that's
honest,
not the case.
to be honest, it doesn't really matter. YouTube will tell you it's reused content without telling you what the reused content is. It's pretty much a band-aid that they use for the platform to just say no. A lot of creators, like I've told you before, sometimes they even get denied on their first try. So just keep applying, and eventually they'll say yes. It's all nonsense at the end of the day.
I mean, at the end of the day, YouTube want money. They want to say yes to you, ideally. So, yeah. And I guess I'll get into introducing the guests. I'm sure Marc The Cyborg needs no introduction, but Marc, introduce yourself and tell us what you do.
Hi everybody, I'm Marc The Cyborg. I make videos about video games and I play games with puppies. Jojo's a very ill-tempered puppy, but she's a good puppy. See?
Steven, what about you guys?
I am Fat Steven. I am a content creator that plays a lot of live stream gaming all the time. I also work for That Park Place as their graphics guy for logos, thumbnails, as well as Valiant Renegade. And yeah, I'm pretty much, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Sorry.
Yeah. I've got to come here. Tell them you're trans and don't want. I mean, I could do that. I am Polish, so I'm an immigrant. So does that count for anything? Right?
No, but technically your content's transformative, so technically you are trans.
Yeah, that's actually a very high IQ. I like.
I'm transhuman.
Is that how it works?
Well, no, seriously, this is my leg. Like I'm
Good point.
It's not
good point.
Like,
I'm
part
disabled.
robot, so
I'm doing my part for transhumanism.
Never asked for this.
All right, Jason. What about you?
Yeah, so I'm Jason Sanberg. I'm the writer, publisher, artist, letterer, colorist for Jupiter, which is currently live on Indiegogo. And good news, we hit the $5,000 stretch goal. So everybody who previously backed or will back is going to get the Captain Kleinbottle fan club membership card, 24-point PVC card. So we can talk more later on. Go check it out. But I'm very happy to be here. And Jupiter is doing pretty great for a first-time crowdfund campaign.
That's
All
great.
right.
See, that takes me back when you get those little bonus things in comics. That's like, yeah, you're a member of the Justice League Club, and it's like you get those little things that would
like the Dakota rings.
they'd make you want to come back, because then if you
Right.
get other stuff, it's like, oh, I got new stamps to put on my card or something. Like that.
If I'm not having fun, you're not going to have fun. And this Captain Kleinbottle, he's a character in the book. He's the comic within a comic book, and he's the throwback to Jack Kirby. Jack Kirby's characters from the Silver Age, Bronze Age, and then the membership card, in true 1970s fashion, is sponsored by a pie company. And then he's a time traveler, so the years on the membership card go backward in time. So yeah, it's just as much as I can do to have fun and let the readers have fun. That's what I'm all about.
Yeah, it's really awesome, man.
Can I?
Yeah,
can
I left
is this
the
good?
link.
A
Oh
little
yeah,
better
that might
soon,
be
yeah.
good. Yeah.
Well,
I left
I'm
the
not
link to Jason's Indiegogo in the description below, and I've left all the channel links and Twitter links, I think, as well, for everyone on here as well. Yeah, I suppose we'll get on with the news. By the way, that intro always takes me quite a while to make, but I'm kind of proud of the page turn animations. You guys have no idea how long that took me to figure out.
Skill building. It's
Yeah,
great.
exactly.
I'm
usually,
really terrible at motion graphics. It's what my editing is very linear, and I think well timed. So it's why I have to have great timing in my editing, because if I'm just sticking to the fundamentals, I better be able to land a jump shot every time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And,
yeah, definitely.
I'm not good with the animated stuff, but yeah, I always
Keyframing.
respect it.
Keyframing
Yeah,
is easy to learn though. Like it's
I
not
mean,
that hard.
I do a
assisted motion.
bit of it sometimes, but usually for zooms, and I can do it with camera movements. I'm not good with doing things like tracking a face on another one. There was one, I forget, there was one video I did where I had a cut to the red pill and blue pill thing in the Matrix, and it was like two different types of video game playing, and like saying if you want to know the truth, try playing on this difficulty or something like that. And I had it track the pill for like just a second. I think even at the end of the shot, you just see the text jump off the frame because I fucked up the keyframe at the last second. So it's just
It does
not
that. It's always like that one little frame that it's just like, oh, you just went somewhere. Oh, great. Yeah.
It was good enough that I'm like, I almost have this video done, and it's going to take me so much time to finish that one thing that little mistake I'm okay with. It didn't really take away from it that much. But I tend to have high standards if I don't have deadlines.
I think my mic volume's loud enough, right?
Yeah, you're good.
You sound good.
All right. The worst one for me, I think, was getting Victoria Alonso's head on the Penguin, Danny DeVito, while driving up the stairs with the that Penguin tank. Just because
I'm not even going to try to tackle 10% of that.
Bro, when you guys spare time, I can teach you in Filmora. It's easy as hell. But the PNG, and all you do is you go frame when it moves, and you just move the head with it, and it will automatically leave the keyframe there and move. You set it.
Yeah, I got to find a way to use actual After Effects though, because I have the Adobe Creative Suite because I need Photoshop Media Encoder and Premiere Pro, which is primarily what I edit on. It is way too expensive for what it is, and I kind of wish I was more comfortable with a cheaper editing program like Vegas.
Filmora is $40 a month, and it's really, I've been using it ever since. And I use Photoshop, and I just hate the UI, but I'm learning it. Yeah,
Filmora then is about the same as Premiere then, because Premiere.
The template system with them is great. If you guys are into editing, like you can actually use it, get rid of like the premium features you don't want to pay for, and you can just build off a template in like 30 seconds, and it's just awesome.
Is DaVinci Resolve free, or is it just cheap? It's free. So then DaVinci Resolve is one where a buddy of mine, Justin Infinity, you can probably find him on Twitter. I wish I had his link handy, but he uses that, and his videos are actually pretty well edited, and it's just free software that he uses. So while we're talking about super expensive, pay this much money per month software, if you're in the audience and you want to start editing, I'd recommend just get a basic set of tools to learn the skill set. And then once you have the skill set, you can get more advanced tools, and then you can actually take advantage of them better. But if you start wanting to pay like $600 a year to use Premiere Pro, it's not going to be worth it for you, and you're gonna just think that you wasted your money and that you're not getting the value out of it. So I'd recommend starting with something easy to get into and cheap.
I have I can share this quickly because I know I thought that farted from right there. I'm sorry. Yeah, so this is pretty much here. Hold on, let me get it up here. Okay, so like, the simple stuff like this. Let me just zoom in. So, because I'm always trying to make a different intro. So this is pretty simple. Get it going in, and then it's just. Clean as hell, right?
Yeah, it looks very similar to Premiere's interface too, except with thumbnails on the timeline.
Yep, it's just easy to go with, and then you got your own keyframing stuff where you can actually do it all manually. Sorry.
Oh no, yeah, that seems interesting. I've always seen Wondershare, but can I stop sharing this?
Yeah, you can stop sharing. I'm done. I was just trying to say it's pretty easy to learn.
Oh crap!
You let him back in.
Yeah,
make him sweat a little bit though.
That was my boomerism. All right, sorry about that.
Yeah, you share.
So Mark, I kicked my cat out right before we started recording. It would have been funny if my cat had been if your dog had seen my cat, but maybe
my puppies are a big part of my brand. Anytime you're ever on a stream with me, you can likely expect them to be there, but they come and go as they please. They have little steps that they use to get up onto the couch, and but I love my little puppies. They're nice. Jojo is very territorial though.
We have another special guest, Mr.Bug. Thank you for coming in. I said like you're always welcome on the stream.
Well, happy to be here. I was I'll admit it was a little weird with my schedule, but I got lucky and happy to just be a part of the fun.
Oh yeah, definitely. Oh, this will be so much fun for the last little segment I have prepared for you guys. I reckon the more people there is, the more fun it will be. Sorry I couldn't include it in the intro, but yeah. Send me that message like last minute. I could still cook up something. You never know. Mark, I remember like last time I edited you in the intro. I used the Berserk. This time I wanted to use something like video gaming, and I was like thinking, okay, what video games does he like? I know you like Metro Dread. That's your most popular video, but it's just like, okay, that's not very cinematic. It's more of like a platformer game. I saw you like mention. I heard you mention like Metal Gear Solid in side scrollers.
Yeah, I got a tattoo of Peace Walker over here.
Oh, really? Oh, okay. Nice. Yes, and I noticed like you pointed out to me, by the way, that Kiefer Sutherland voices the main character, and I'm like, I've been playing that game for like 10 hours, and how did I not notice that? Now I can't hear anything else
in Metal Gear Solid 5. Yeah,
exactly. Like as soon as someone pointed it out to me, I'm just like, I can't unhear his voice. I can just hear 24 hours essentially the TV show.
It's a tough voice to get. You got to get really close to the mic to do Kiefer Sutherland properly. You got to be like, the following takes place between 7 a.m. and 8 a.m.
Exactly.
It's like, I don't know what they do, but the boom mic operator for Kiefer Sutherland movies has got to be like a pro, because he's right outside the frame at all times, man. I'm telling you.
Are you guys watching his new series, Rabbit Hole, at all?
No, I haven't seen it.
It's actually good.
Yeah, I've watched it as well. It's with Charles Dance as well. That's the primary reason I'm watching it. If it's got Charles Dance, I'm sold.
Do you want the trunk, or do you want to be tied up? Okay, you got tied up and in the trunk. And that's like the ongoing joke for the last 4 episodes.
Yeah, definitely. I was worried they were going to turn him into a villain, like I know the
dad trope.
Yeah, essentially. But no, it seems like he isn't the villain, so that's good. Yeah, definitely. I mean, we could get into a rabbit hole with rabbit hole, but I guess we should get into some news. Let me just not boomer it up and share the right screen. The first thing I wanted to talk about are these writer strikes. Now, I don't know a whole bunch about these, and I'm left wondering like whether this will have a long-term good effect on Hollywood, and I mean good as in killing them off, essentially, because for the past few years Hollywood has produced nothing but garbage, and it's just surprising to hear, oh, the writers that have been writing absolute shit are going on a strike now. It's just like, oh, okay. It's not like they've been like producing good work and then going on a strike. Hey, our conditions are unfair.
I think it's just speeding it up. It's just going to speed up Hollywood to rely more on ChatGPT, either for editing or actually writing stories. And they're asking for too much. And I think this whole strike is pretty much just about the fear of GPT taking their jobs. But at the end of the day, the activism is what's been killing the writing for God knows how long, let's say over the last 5-10 years. And everyone's turning away because the content isn't worthwhile.
Yeah. And at least for me, I've seen the strike is like, it's not just writers getting butthurt or scared that AI is going to take their jobs or something. It's just like there's so much going on with it. It's like the timing of it. It's like, this is like a moment where all companies are like cutting off the fat and just like firing people left, right, and center. It's like, now you choose the time to strike when they're already in a mood to fire people. Like, you just made it way easier for them to kick your ass out the curb. And, they'll rely on the cheap robot, instead of like the asshole activist writer who demands like 13-hour work days when the job is only like maybe a week of work. It's just like, I'm sorry, like, we don't want it to be a gig thing. Well, shut up. You're not a carpenter. You're not an architect. You don't work at a McDonald's.
Even carpentry and architecture is a gig job. Like lots of jobs in which are creative, and what I mean by that in this context is jobs in which you create a thing and you are paid to create the thing. Once the thing is created, that is the end of the job. You now need to find a new thing to create. Yeah, that has always been what writing is. You are never entitled to a job writing stories. You're never entitled to be paid for it. And the sheer reason I think that should be almost a universal, that every writing job should be contract based in nature, is because I personally believe that most people have at least, most human beings, like 99.999%, have at least one good story to tell in them. And I don't think there's very many that have 10, you know? So there's writers out there that maybe 1% of them can really knock banger after banger out of the park. They're the guys who we see going from like Buffy the Vampire Slayer to something like 24 to then working on movies and things like that. So bring it back to the Jack Bauer thing we were talking about earlier. And guys like, I mean, you could argue based on quality, but someone like Stephen King, who can just, regardless of his quality, can crank out stories that have a beginning, middle, and usually a shit ending. But you do it consistently and at a level that's well above where the average person can. So like to say Stephen King has no talent as a writer, I think is incorrect. But Stephen King is a self-made man when it comes to being a writer, right? Like he's just been writing stories.
Can I say that Stephen? Sorry, Mark, I'm going to cut you up. Can I say that Stephen King has no talent in writing tweets, though? Because he's horrible on Twitter. It's horrible on Twitter.
Here's the thing. I think most people in the entertainment industry should not be on Twitter.
I think,
I think if you're a talent person in the entertainment industry and do not need to directly interact with your fan base because you're like an actor or something, I don't think you should be on Twitter. I don't even think you should have a team of people who are on Twitter who can even act as a lightning rod to throw hate at you. Just don't be that kind of public figure. Show up in your movies. People will be more thrilled when they see you out in the world if they don't see you tweeting everything that pops in your head when you're on the John, right?
Yeah.
It's why you don't have like movie stars anymore. You know, like you admire like Mark Hamill's role as Luke Skywalker, then you read his Twitter and you're just like, it just kind of breaks the magic, you know.
The era,
the mystique and the fun factor is kind of gone because the Mark Hamill you had in your head does not match the Mark Hamill you're seeing on Twitter, you know.
But the era of celebrity has pretty much died out, and I think from the lockdowns till now kind of advanced it quite quickly. But at the same time, it falls under the trope that never meet your heroes. It can also fall under never meet your celebrities, because they're still human beings, but they're horrible human beings because they don't live in the same ecosphere we live in. They live with everything different, and they always look down on us. Not all, but it's the same trope. They're always preaching. They're always crying about this or that we need to respect this. They're always standing for some stupid right that's a trend, and they don't even believe it. It's all nonsense. They're just human beings on a road that they don't think much for themselves. They only think about what their marketing manager tells them to go.
My biggest regret is that is the timing. I would have preferred that the writer's strike happened during the election year, so that these late night comedy writers would be out of work and unable to mislead and mischaracterize the candidates during the election. So
we don't know how long it's going to go.
Well, Corden did kill the Late Show. That was Craig Ferguson, and we know he was he bailed out, and that was losing $20 million a year, and that's when Late Night died. So. I'm happy Sony is trying to pick Craig Ferguson back up, though.
Yeah, you lose Letterman and Ferguson. It's just like the quality immediately dips down. But who do you have filling in for them? You have Colbert and then Corden, and then you have the other schmucks like Kimmel and whatnot who are just ridiculous.
But it means we don't have to see SNL anymore.
I mean, does anyone really watch
is that even a big loss anymore?
It kind of is, because we don't have to watch cringe like clips on Twitter. Like there is a benefit to that.
Every so often you get something like the Pedro Pascal Mario, which was pretty decent,
that was good.
I thought. Like, I mean, and here's the thing, but let's stop right there, because I think I have a pretty good place to interject the point I was going to make anyways, bringing up Pedro, because he's very active on Twitter.
Oh my God!
I think the lesson that I take from it, which I think is slightly different from the way a lot of people in our sphere see it, and by the way, no one has to agree with me on this. It's just kind of the way I see it, is that the lesson to take from it is disconnect these people as human beings and what they think and what their ideologies are and what they think, and just just watch the stuff that you are interested in and don't think too hard about what the politics were of the people who made them. Because the way I see it, that's how this whole mess happened in the first place. Because it was a bunch of people in Hollywood who started getting so politically active that they got the thought in their head that you should not even be involved in a fandom if you don't agree with our politics. And likewise, I think we all need to take responsibility. And by we, I just mean the global sense of all the different spheres and fandoms and standpoint factions, you could say, in our space as the viewers, the fans. A lot of people got very militant and would start thinking, oh, this guy made a tweet I don't like, he doesn't agree with my stance on blank political issue, that's it, never, I don't want to give money to people who hate me, which is a stance I think is reasonable. But yeah, I think when you lean too hard into that, like, I am now engaging with entertainment media as a political actor, not as a viewer, not as a fan, not as an audience member, that's the line that I don't ever really want to cross it. I'm like, well, no, I don't think I want to look at Stephen King's Twitter and then say, man, this is my video of me taking out an MP5 and shooting my copies of The Dark Tower. You know, it's like, no, man, I fucking love The Dark Tower. The ending's weird, but whatever. You know, it's a fantasy sci-fi series about a Clint Eastwood man with no name Jedi.
Yeah. You're pretty much
Like,
saying, if I got this
cool.
right, you separate the content from the creator, because the content shouldn't be sacrificed. But and I agree with that, but what happens when the content starts getting infused with that? Let's say how we see the new types of writers, air quotes, start infusing their own type of immortality and political narrative.
If you're phrasing that as a question, I do have a response to that. And the response would be, what matters at the end of the day is it good? Because I think you can have a show or a video game or a movie or a comic, doesn't matter what it is, that is very politically charged, very politically dense as far as the content of the story and the morals that it has and the lessons that it's trying to teach. And it can be way far off from what you actually agree with. But if the story is well written, I can read a story like that or play a game like that or watch a movie like that and say, I don't agree with where this is coming from, but this was a beautifully made piece of art. And
no, I agree with you, Mark. But like, I can make a perfect example of that. I took my chat, was it like a couple months ago? We did the Last of Us remaster, like the full game. We went through it because a lot of people haven't seen it. Right? We did the whole thing.
Remastered, like the PS4 one? Or
yeah, the PS4 one, but I played it on PS5.
Yeah,
we did all that. It was great. Yeah, and then we did Last of Us 2 because it was on sale for $10.
I got
when I got to the golf club scene, I no longer had any enjoyment to even want to continue. It had nothing to do with political stuff or the past stuff with Druckmann. It just felt like it was no longer Last of Us. It just killed my drive for it.
The story in The Last of Us Part 2 is absolutely garbage. But I would also make the argument that is fair game to say too, because I would say that Neil Druckmann, the way I look at it is he's like a really high quality piece of molten steel. And for The Last of Us Part 1, the original game, not the Part 1 remake, he had Bruce Straley to be his blacksmith, to temper him, to be like, yeah, here's your great idea, Neil. You're going too far here. Let's keep that in the pocket. Let's straighten you out. Let's turn this into a sword. And The Last of Us Part 1 worked out really well. I think Uncharted 2, which is the other game they worked on, was also
my favorite game.
I think Uncharted 4 was starting to be a little more Neil's show. You know, I think if you
story-wise, it wasn't the best. I think.
Did you hear?
But gameplay is beautiful.
There's a lot of Neil Druckmann in there too. A lot more than there was in 2, and a lot more than there was in The Last of Us 1.
There's a lot of Neil Druckmann in this show too.
I like
but I think the show was primarily Craig Mazin for the vast majority of it, with the exception of 2 episodes. I want to say.
Yeah. Bug. What did you want to say?
I wanted to bring up because Uncharted 4 got brought up, and I just wanted to know if anyone knew the funny story about that one. Like Uncharted 4 Uncharted 4 was already written by the
Amy Hennig,
Amy Hennig, right? And roughly right around Last of Us came out, that was when Amy and Bruce both left Naughty Dog, and Neil rewrote the entirety.
Well, no, to see that's not entirely accurate, and that it's kind of that was what I was just kind of gonna touch on, because Amy and Bruce didn't leave at the same time. Amy left.
It was the general timeline.
No, well, but it's very, very important though. because trust me, it's critical. So Amy Hennig leaves. They reboot Uncharted 4's story and rewrite it entirely with Neil Druckmann writing and Bruce Straley as his partner. And I think that one was very clearly starting to be more Neil, and it was right after Uncharted 4 that Bruce left. But that's important because that's the last one that Bruce actually made, and he was one of the scabs that took over after Amy Hennig left. So like Bruce he's not totally innocent in the thing, but it's clear that Neil Druckmann, I think, was gaining more power at the studio, and Bruce was probably trying to be like, hey Neil, like I know that you want to go really hard with the political messages in these games, but maybe we should think a bit about what our audience is actually going to be satisfied by, and I think that was probably the point where Bruce left, and that's why Neil got I think it was a writer of an episode of Westworld that came in and was the co-writer on Last of Us 2 instead, and she was not a blacksmith who was good enough to temper Neil into something that was good. I think though, on your point about the show, Fat Steven, Craig Mazin, I think, is better than Bruce Straley, honestly, as far as like his ability to take Neil Druckmann's stuff and turn it into something actually decent. I think the biggest problem that the show had is they did not give it nearly enough episodes, and the lack of content in it really hurt the 2 flashback episodes, which are the most politically controversial, you could say, because it's the Bill episode, which is the gay love story, and the Riley episode, which is the lesbian love story. And I think that those episodes, with the Bill one being a lot better, but the Riley one still being all right, are pretty good. But in the context of being in that Last of Us story and taking up as much time as they did when we needed more time with Joel and Ellie, I think they're really injured by the fact that by the end of the season, you see the end of the game with Joel kicking the shit out of everybody at the hospital, and you kind of just don't feel like you know them well enough to care. Like it's like
the thing. I think
I understand this because I played the game, but if I didn't play the game, I don't feel like I know this Joel and this Ellie, and they're different enough that I need to know them better.
Coming from the show's perspective, as I watched it, I think there was one character they totally missed out, and I agree with you on the lack of episodes. Is they forgot that the main character of this thing is not even Joel and Ellie; it's the whole journey of getting from point A to point B.
Yeah,
and they sacrificed so much content within that. Whether or not you like the Bill episode or the DLC episode they did with Riley, I think they lost track of that. It's still a post-apocalyptic world. It doesn't have to be infused with all of this stuff. You just have to make it look like it's a journey for a reason. And they didn't ever focus much on the environment, the clickers, giving the world itself its own soul that they actually had to survive through. And they sacrificed a lot of it. They did. And I feel like what we're hearing now is they're going to change that series to not be the same as Last of Us 2.
Well, but
the damage is already being done by how they didn't progress.
That's the thing I don't know, because what the opportunity that I see here that I'm really interested in is I think Craig Mazin might have the skill to tell The Last of Us Part 2 in a way that's not shit. And I think that'll be interesting to see.
But that's what they're coming with the rumor, though, Mark. That's what they're coming with the rumor, is supposedly that they're going to probably change Joel's outcome.
I doubt that. I don't think that's gonna. I think it will be the same
probably
story. Let's get it. Like it will be the same story. We will still have Abby. She's probably still going to be in very good shape. I think she's going to be much more attractive than she is in the game.
Yeah.
I think they're going to cast an actress who's a hottie,
Bruce Jenner,
and is really hard for. No, it's not. It's not going to be. Well, Abby isn't trans. Like that's.
I know. I just wanted to make a joke.
I know, but the thing is that I think that kind of joke, while we're talking about things in this manner, it kind of throws the conversation off. Because it's like, oh, we don't want to see Abby because she's like trans man or something. I was like, no,
that wasn't what I was going with. I was just picturing trying to put Bruce Jenner as the main actor. That's
John Cena would be more accurate.
We know that Abby in the game is jacked to the point that would be ridiculous for a woman to get in the post-apocalypse without a lot of steroids. And that's
she just pinches everyone's lunch at the table and they're just like starving, just looking at her.
I am not. I want to make this clear. I'm not defending that. But for example, one of the rumors that I heard about the Abby casting, which I do not think is true, so don't put any stock in this, but it got me thinking. They were saying that Florence Pugh was the favorite to play Abby, and I was like,
oh, wow.
I would have a lot of trouble thinking of her as like an overly masculine, not attractive woman who I definitely don't want to see in a sex scene.
All right, Mark, I got something better for you. I got something better. Mark, I got something better for you.
You've already recontextualized this character for me.
Mark, I got something better for you. You've seen what is it? I think is it Junior, where Arnold Schwarzenegger gets pregnant?
Yeah.
He wears like so this is just switch Abby for Arnold Schwarzenegger with a blonde wig, and I think we're good to go. Just do it like they did Twins in those old school 80s.
But you know that's not going to happen.
I know, but
I'm
it's
talking
still
about is
funny.
I'm trying to talk about this as if it could go down and be something which might actually work. And I don't know. I think they've got a chance. I don't know if they're going to do it, but I'm willing.
I think
like season 1 enough that I'm willing to see them try. You know,
the fundamental change is going to be: will they kill Joel in like the first 3 episodes? If they don't, they've made some drastic changes, which is good.
I would.
They did it, and it's just
I'm guessing episode 2. End of episode 2 is my guess.
Who do you think would sponsor the golf club? What do you think? Who do you think would be a Titanium series?
I really don't think any golf club manufacturer is going to get anywhere near this particular sponsorship.
The problem is like Joel is the draw.
That is not the part
Last
of that
Us,
game you want to be associated with.
Pedro Pascal is like the draw to the show. You know, everyone knows Pedro Pascal, and it's like, oh yeah, I'll definitely watch that. And if you kill him off in like the 2nd episode, like you said, I just think.
Well, again,
not going to go down very
when
well.
you think about how much Pedro Pascal costs and how much of a draw they might need to bring in to keep people back, casting Abby as someone who is likable and who a lot of people know and is maybe a bit higher profile than you're thinking it's going to be might not be a terrible call, and it might actually work. I mean, again, I think it's a bad story overall, so I still think ultimately I'm going to be like, yeah, that was still not a good tale. Like the plot of it was not something I enjoyed. I did not like the journey the characters went on, but this was told in a way that's like, okay, at least the mechanics of the story make sense. At least the characters seem consistent in this story, and they aren't all of a sudden deciding to be stupid so that the plot can happen, which happens in The Last of Us Part 2 a lot.
Yeah,
in particular,
definitely.
Lev, I mean, speaking of a character who actually is trans, Lev, who's a trans boy, a trans man, like teenager, who was female, is transitioned to male, and then got kicked out of his religious cult, spends a day and a half with Abby, having his life saved by her repeatedly, knowing that he can count on Abby to protect him. Decides to go back to his cult island town alone in a dinghy, like a fishing boat.
Yeah.
Without asking Abby and his sister and the other people, able-bodied soldiers that they have with them, hey, I'm going to go get my mom, whether you help me or not. Will you come with me? Because I don't know if I'm going to make it. Like, I don't believe that Lev wouldn't say that, but Lev didn't say that because they needed Lev to just be speeding off and then be like, no, Lev, oh my God, he must be going to get our mother at the island. I guess we have a big action set piece to go. Like, it's just, I see the strings, you know? It's like, why did Lev do that? That's not that character. That's not the character that you made in this game. Like, Lev was previously pretty competent.
I apologize for my Bruce Jenner and Arnold Schwarzenegger joke. I should not have insulted the 80s. I do apologize.
No,
well,
worries.
I mean, dude, I'm just trying to.
It wasn't too offensive, you know. I don't think I'll get banned from YouTube.
It's not that I was offended. It's just that I was trying to just approach the topic with some respect, which is difficult to do when it's a story that everyone hates. You know? That deals with.
Like,
they can manage it to tell a good story in here. It's just what Neil did was just sloppy, lazy, and you can tell he didn't put effort in it. Effort that was in the details, you know. And
the mechanics are bad.
I think
they're not good story mechanics. Flat out.
One fundamental story change they could have done is simply get Ellie to kill Abby at the end. It just does not make one lick of sense for her to let her live, essentially. I think that kind of theme, revenge bad, at the end would ring a whole lot louder if she did kill her in the end. Yeah, what
I need to go get my coffee. I will return. The puppies may not come back.
All right.
There's a lot of like bad story mechanics with the game. Not just Ellie not being able to kill Abby and whatnot. You know, like Lev is a whole thing there. Okay, I get it. The trans representation, all that, it's fine, dandy. But the reasoning for why Lev is running away from the cult, it's like that cult uses child wives, and it's like, okay, you had that going for you. That's a good motivator for like, hey, I need to get the fuck out of this scary cult because I'm a child and they want to marry me off to the pervy pedophile leader here. And instead, it's like, oh, I just wanted to be a boy to go out and fight with everybody, even though men and women are going off and fighting in the cult, so that doesn't even make any sense. So it's like I get where you're trying to go with, Neil. Like, you wanted evil cult bad, and you wanted to give this character a reason to like leave, but you had like all these other way more tangible reasons for why this kid would want to get the fuck out of there, but you didn't really make it work, and that's just on Lev. Like, I'm not, and I'm not like doing it like, oh, trans character bad. No, because it's like Lev was fine, if not like nothing was given to them, and they have a stupid moment when they go back to the camp to go save their mom, and then they just hit him with the coffee table. It's just, I don't know. The other writer on the show could maybe do something better, but at the end of the day, at least for me, it's still going to be shit. It's just going to be, the plate is going to look a little prettier than the cardboard one Neil gave me in the game.
I think that at least it'll be like a little better than the game.
Instead of a cardboard plate, you get a nice ceramic plate with shit on top of it.
But what if they do? What if they do something like, for example, change the mechanics and the sequence of events of Ellie encountering Joel at the beginning? They shift that so that it's not so contrived, so that Joel doesn't make so many stupid mistakes, so that it comes about in a way that's more organic, and maybe in a way where Abby seems more conflicted, because that was one of the big problems I had with Joel's death scene. It's just Abby was sadistic. She was horrible. She was just a terrible, terrible person. She didn't seem like it was tearing her apart inside. She didn't seem like she just loved her father and this was her quest for revenge. She seemed like she was having fun. And that is not the type of thing that you can do to a beloved character and then expect us to get on board with loving that character unless you do a lot. It's a huge mountain to put in front of yourself as a writer, and just he couldn't clear it. And the Westworld writer couldn't clear it either. But I think the guy who made Chernobyl might have a chance. It's not saying for sure, but it's possible.
I think it's also
restructure it.
Yeah, go on, Pat.
I think it's also hard when we see these games or these shows come out, but we are already conflicted, not even by just the characters we're being introduced to with or the actions. It's the actions of how the studios and all these people that we know are acting and conflating this kind of hostile, negative emotion towards the fans or fandom, and then we're supposed to, as you say, reach that mountain, and we either climb it or we just say, screw it, I'm going to go for McDonald's. So I think there's so many more aspects that are actually affecting this, and getting through, as we were going back to the previous statement about trying to separate the entertainment from the creators and their actions and their words. It sometimes gets harder and harder because you want to enjoy a story, you want to be entertained, but you're getting drowned with all of this stuff that just seems like they shouldn't have spent more time rethinking their story, rethinking how their fans would take it, and not how they think the fans should take it. And I think that's what we're seeing going across all of, not just Hollywood, whether it's the Writers Guild. We're seeing this where it comes to like Star Wars, Star Trek. Well, Picard season 3 was an anomaly. It was a good anomaly. We're seeing that with everywhere else, and it's no longer wanting to be entertained. We're reaching the point now where we entertained enough, and I think that's something we need to get out of that hole.
Exactly. Yeah, you make a fantastic point there.
Did you say fantastic, Paul?
Yes, I did.
Hold on.
Trademark.
No, hold on. I got sound for that.
Emotional damage.
Oh shit, we're gonna get copyright strike.
No, you're not. I've never got hit. No, you play the video.
All right. Audio probably will get away. All right. It doesn't matter. I'm not monetized yet, so yeah, that's a fantastic point. Fantastic, not fantastic. Don't worry. I included the end of that. And also to add to what Mark said, I remember that reminds me that Molo exactly said that Abby didn't even ask, like, why did you kill my father?
No.
That would have been a very logical, simple. Even if you're angry at Joel and want revenge, you'd at least be interested. Like, okay, why did you even do this? And
logic.
No, I'm just gonna beat you with an oath club. It just screams to me, we want to kind of shock the fans in here in this scene, and give you no fleshing out or details at all.
I have a question. Who was Abby's father again? Because like I said, I did not.
The doctor who was going to operate on Ellie.
He saved the zebra, of course. So he was a saint.
Saved a zebra. So definitely super cool guy. Definitely best sainthood ever. Amen. Best
Zebras are overrated. Fuck him.
I'm gonna name his
horses, sir.
Animal saver. Yeah. So speaking of violent Abby, busting people's heads with a golf club, does that make you violent, guys? By any chance? Do you guys think that would, I don't know, motivate you to grab a golf club and just bash someone's brains in? You know?
No, I think bad
Hasn't
PC
happened once since.
No,
I think bad PC optimization causes more violence in gaming.
Yeah. Yeah, seriously.
like that-
Yeah, I got Last of Us Part 1 on PC caused me an actual headache.
Look,
Real
Jedi
world
Fallen
headache.
Order was another
because of
one.
the frame
Redfall that had problems, but yeah, that's the main goal here. I think it's not video games don't cause violence. AAA titles releasing broken cause violence. That's
Yeah,
the main
seriously.
goal, right?
It's like that line in.
You already got our money. Why do we care?
It's like that line in Scary Movie 1 where they
We're
go,
sorry
"You watch too
that
many
some
violent
of you
TV
have been
shows."
having difficulties with your frame pacing in
Yeah,
our game.
yeah,
Make
it's-
sure you've updated your video drivers.
Mark, it's like that dude from South Park. We're sorry that we got
we're
your money. We're sorry that we forgot the update that was bigger than the game itself and still broke more crap than you wanted to just press start. My God.
I wanted to bring up this.
Oh, screw Mark Walsh. I had one of his followers last night. I was playing Honkai Star Rail, right? And this dude comes into my chat and tells me, you only know the reason why you watch this, right? Because they're sexualizing characters. I'm like, no, it's an RPG. It's new. It just released. Oh, come on. They're wearing a garter on their leg. Isn't that
That girl's a
sexualizing the
literal
characters?
child. She has double D's, buddy. What children are you hanging around?
And I'm like going, you're the only person here who's talking about sexualization of an anime character, and then he's telling me and projecting and saying I'm covering myself up. I'm like, get the hell out of here. This is the stupidity, man.
I've been streaming a lot of fighting games lately. My streams have been very waifu heavy. Also, I have Bayonetta right behind me.
Yeah.
Well,
like,
too bad,
in
Mike,
this
that's
angle,
very
you really
satanic
only
to
see
do.
your boobs.
You should play Star Rail if you like the full waifu JRPG turn-based that they released. It's done by the guys I think did Genshin.
I'm aware of it. Actually, I do know of it, but I've got a couple JRPGs on the go that I need to finish. One of them being Octopath Traveler 2, that is very good, and a viewer of mine got for me for my birthday, which I'm very thankful for. And on Friday, I will be starting Diablo 4 with Adam Krigler at 4 p.m. Eastern.
Nice.
I shall be a rogue.
Final Fantasy 16 in June, and I finished Intergrade, which was too short, and we're doing Horizon Forbidden West.
Yeah, I'm waiting for the PC port on that one. I liked playing Horizon with the mouse and keyboard a lot. It made the combat a lot more engaging to me.
I like a Razer Wolverine version 2 on my computer. It just works so nice.
See, I'm hearing all this talk, and I just think Satanists, all of you.
Yeah,
Like,
no,
please.
we're all the worst.
Yeah.
I played Doom in 1993. Everybody.
Okay, I mean that's
And
killing
Mortal Kombat.
demons. So technically, you are like the real opposite of.
That's like saying KMFD makes you want to go draw pentagrams on the lowest jug city. Like, come on.
Well, they did make me want to kill the people in Depeche Mode in Minecraft.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
That's a deep cut.
You know, I put on a Mortal Kombat soundtrack, and the next thing I know, I'm beating up people in the street, right?
The Mortal Kombat
yeah,
soundtrack's
man,
good.
I have all of them. There's 3. There's Mortal Kombat, there's Annihilation, and there's also the More Kombat. They have great music.
right.
Both my sons watch Scooby Doo constantly wall to wall, and none of them have gone and solved a crime yet.
Have they tried to pull off your head yet, thinking there's a mask underneath?
Yeah, not yet, but no.
I just got X-Ray Girl watching Venture Brothers, talking about Hanna-Barbera stuff.
I have never
She's
seen or
2.5
heard of it.
episodes in, but she's a sleepy lady. So probably the best thing that happened to me in Vegas, and I guess I'll put this on record because I want to make sure it actually happens, is I'm walking around with Gary from Nerdrotic, and there's a Venture Brothers movie coming out this year.
Yep.
He knows I'm a big Venture Brothers fan, and so is he. He's like, when the movie comes out, the second it's finished, we're hopping on stream and doing a stream for it, and then we'll do a little retrospective of the whole series, and Perry Channel edit it. I'm just like, can I get that in writing?
I have the full series. I love it. And I'm also a huge C-Lab 2021 fan. I love, like, you don't get adults from like that Harvey Birdman, or you don't get
I was
Aqua Teen Hunger Force.
Yeah, Aqua Teen was my I just need to hit
Ezekiel. I think Ezekiel's my favorite episode with the mini Master Shake. Daddy, up, daddy. And then you got the other one was like Hand Bananas, like tonight. You. And then Carl finally does another clone, and they both go at him. And so I'm like,
I was like the Moon Men.
Yeah. Remember the promotional campaign they did, where people thinking there was like some weird stuff going on because they were putting like the LED statues everywhere, and literally they got in trouble for that. That was for the Aqua Teen movie.
Actually, I never saw the movie.
It's not bad.
I wanted to ask you guys, like, I constantly see Venture Brothers clips. Like, I'm a complete noob, never seen it. What is it about? And can I stream it somewhere, or do I have to go to the high seas?
No, it's definitely on iTunes in North America. I know. So if you do want to pay for it, you can get it that way. I think if Adult Swim still has their app, that is, I think, where I watched the most recent season as it was airing. That was a few years ago, though, so I don't know if that's still going on. Or if there's somewhere else, but anywhere where you find like Adult Swim shows will probably be where you'd find it. It is on DVD and Blu-ray, but I think the full series is, you can get a full series collection that's only DVD, which is interesting because season 3, 4, 5, and 6 and 7 are all on Blu-ray. But
yeah, the complete series was announced, I think, in March or for June 2023. It's going to be in DVD, and it's going to be about $80.
Yeah, so that's probably your best bet. That's 7 seasons. And the thing to note about it, though, is that Johnny Quest parody is a good thing to bring up. It is...
I don't know what a Johnny Quest parody is.
So I'll kind of explain it, because it's a little more complex than that. It's kind of parodying a lot of things initially that were very popular in the 1960s and 70s. Yeah, there you go. So like Johnny Quest was an old Hanna-Barbera cartoon in which the son of an adventurer kind of went on his own little adventures, and he had this soldier named Race Bannon who was their bodyguard. And and then Haji is the little Indian kid that's his best friend, and they just go on adventures all around the world, and there'd be crazy kind of pulp novel stuff. So this is kind of that. Sorry, go ahead, Jason. Sorry. I saw that you.
It's fine. And the bad guys would get killed, right? And this was a kids' cartoon after school, but when the bad guys got shot, they had it coming, right? And it was. And it was, think of it as James Bond, but with like a kid and his two kids and 2 adults having James Bond kind of adventures. It was good stuff.
Yeah. So this is that if the James Bond character was a comic book scientist, like a super scientist, and he was a depressed, kind of burnt out, middle-aged addict who is a terrible, terrible father. The boys are sort of less a parody of Johnny Quest himself and more a parody of the Hardy Boys, which were a series of mystery novels that obviously inspired things like Scooby-Doo and stuff like that, with a group of kids going off to solve mysteries. Nancy Drew would have been the female equivalent to the Hardy Boys, if you know who Nancy Drew is. And it's spoofing all of those things, looping in all of the old Hanna-Barbera cartoons of the 60s, James Bond stuff, pulp adventures. And as it starts moving through the seasons, it starts roping in a lot more Marvel comics. There's some more like G.I. Joe type things that come into play. And it's just the most impeccably built and shockingly consistent world where they will refer back to things that happen in the really low budget season 1 of the Simpsons style season 1, because the season 1 is almost a tough watch. It's why it's taken Extra Girl kind of a while to get through. She's 2.5 episodes in, has fallen asleep during 2 of them. I'll get
oh my god.
But by the time you get to season 2, the animation quality gets a lot better, the jokes are snappier, the voice actors are better with their characters, and by season 3 it becomes the best television show I have ever seen in my life. It is my absolute favorite TV show. And I think season 3, when it hits its stride and it's not lost a single thing, it got canceled 3 years ago, I think 4 years ago. And they're this year releasing the movie that's supposed to wrap up all of the storylines and stuff. But the storylines are very, very detailed. The characters are very, very complex. Unlike Neil Druckmann with Abby, he does a very Doc Hammer and Jackson Public, who are the writers of Venture Brothers, do a very good job of presenting you with the most despicable human being you could possibly imagine, and then they find a way to make them more complex and sympathetic over time. And all of a sudden, a guy who is introduced as an abuser of children eventually becomes one of the more lovable characters on the show.
Oh wow! If only Ezra Miller could get that.
I know. Yeah, Jackson Public and Doc Hammer got it right. They got to be on Ezra Miller's PR team. But anyways, no, Venture Brothers is an incredible show. I strongly recommend it. Just know that season 1 is a little rickety, And season 2 is much better, but still a little rough, and then it hits its stride.
All right, yeah, definitely. I'll check it out. Anyway, after that horrible delayment about Venture Brothers, I wanted to. I've read
Tangents,
all
Marc
of
the
this
Cyborg.
article, so I'll only read a bit of it on the stream. The thing is, this article is kind of like 5 years old. Matt Walsh wrote this article 5 years old, and it just it's weird to read this because I can't see anything in here apart from biased, whereas the Matt Walsh that I saw in documentary kind of essentially searched for the truth. I don't see a search for a truth in here. I see incredible hatred for video games and him trying to shove like a circle in a square peg. Essentially,
I take it as evidence that he's moved beyond his area of expertise. He's moved out of his lane, and the reason is that he should be looking for the root cause. What's the root cause? And is the root cause of video games? Well, clearly no. The root cause is mental illness, right? But he's in a position where, as a commentator, as a quasi-intellectual, as a public intellectual, as a celebrity, he's being pinged everywhere, and his opinion is influential. He needs to stay in his lane, focus on the things that he has expertise in, and not speculate about other matters like this, because clearly he's not correct about what the root cause is. And if you're not going after the root cause, then you're actually compounding the problem, making additional problems. And certainly he's also undermining any kind of momentum he would have in terms of swaying the culture.
It's also it's also bothersome that I don't think I forget how this article went, but he doesn't really touch on any of the positives when it comes to gaming either, because we did this study back in the 90s. The thing about video games that no one really highlighted as well is not only did it teach you teamwork skill and how to deal with people online before everyone thinks teabagging is toxic and all that stuff because it's funny. You had stuff like it was problem solving. It's funny. See, Mark laughed.
I'm going to meet you with a corner of tea and bag and then take your chin to Pound Town, buddy.
Or when you get a squeaker that says, my dad works for Microsoft, or I'm going to do your mom. And you're like, thank you, Alvin and the Chipmunks. Please go back to your corner. But it taught you hand-eye coordination, problem solving. And games did more than just, it's violent. It had many other aspects. And you're just highlighting one thing and making it bad. And then you're saying, well, you just have a secret lust to do the same things in games. No, it's teaching me that if I do this in games, it's probably going to happen the same in real life. And I don't want to do it. If someone actually wants to act down on that, it's probably because there's something wrong with them or something going on at home or something that's influencing the way they think. And that is their way of looking at the real world as an outlet. And I don't think he highlights any of that crap. People seem to forget it's not just the physical medium. It's also outside influence that warps us every day, that changes us every day. And that's why we're seeing a big battle when it comes to things like Disney and media entertainment and narrative and messages, is that they're trying to take away the innocence before you can find yourself and grow up as an adult you are going to be, not someone who's going to tell you what you're going to be based off a single sentence or a phrase.
Yeah, I'm just stunned. I think I'm going to clip that. That was I completely agree with what you said. Yeah, definitely.
Sorry, it's the ADHD coming out. I'm disabled.
No worries, man. I mean... yeah, preach. That's all I can say. About the bounding into comics article.
Oh boy.
Well,
I'm not going to article are we talking about? Are we talking about
the bounding article of
the one that got Lofty banned or blocked?
Exactly. The block.
What happened?
So Lofty had it out with bounding into comics writer on Twitter.
Oh,
and,
John?
Me too, by the way.
Yeah, with John.
Oh, okay.
I mean, that Twitter interaction was just so weird to me, and I'm a man of faith as well. I'm Catholic, Polish Catholic. That kind of makes sense to me, and it's just like, Christ, you're telling Lofty to repent. And it's just like,
what?
Yeah,
and all this stuff essentially.
I mean, I didn't want to.
Wait, it turned into an episode of The Exorcist.
Well, okay. If you look at Lofty's Twitter feed, he quote tweeted all of it. You could see it go. I was just watching that. I was like, oh my god, this is the most retarded fucking Twitter argument I've ever seen.
And I thought
life.
Jehovah's
I was like, he's actually telling him to repent.
Were
Holy
cringy
shit!
And bad at conversion.
Okay,
it's just like you don't go to confession for Twitter remarks. There's there's better ways to get people in the confession booth. Like, geez, it's just so cringy. It's just
Well, think
it's
about
like
it.
I was watching God's Not Dead, you know.
But pop culture, you could actually push
I was
that.
looking through that thread and I saw like Vito was kind of winning, and I'm just like, oh god, where are we?
Can you imagine though if you were able to push that every time you did a very repentful tweet that you had to do Hail Marys? Do you know how quiet Twitter would be?
Oh god, yeah.
It would just be cat videos, and we would go back to YouTube in the 90s, like the early 2000s.
How do you even break that to a priest in a confessional?
Forgive me, Father,
for I have sinned. This is
sinned.
my
I have-
57,000th confession, and these are my sins.
I
I got in
used
some
ass.
beef on Twitter, and I told the Bounding into Comics guy that he was a idiot or something, and then he told me to repent. Now I'm here.
Forgive me, Father, for I have sinned. I used a black man in a moving GIF, and I am currently white.
Oh, Legion of Amoebas, we need you here.
Like, wouldn't the priest be like, "What? like, what are you saying?" Be like,
What is a GIF?
Back it up. So you're on Twitter. Start from there.
I'm waiting for Twittergate, man. I'm waiting for that to happen.
So, anyways, the guy from Bounding into Comics, it's like you just go into the full story, and the priest is just like,
and how
like
am I meant to save your
my
immortal
granddaughter
soul
gave
with
me an
this?
iPad a couple years ago. I saw Twitter was installed on it. Should I maybe try to figure that out? Because I don't know what to tell you, man. Do 30 Hail Marys, 10-hour fathers.
Yeah. There'll be a
Say
new
an act
Twitter.
of contrition while you're at it. I don't know. Whatever.
There'll be a new Twitter in like 5 years, and it'll just be shaped like a bird holding a cross. Everything will be fine.
Yeah,
Sorry,
yeah,
Dove.
Christian Twitter. It's Gab.
I love
just Twitter, but the
You have to
bird's
sign
holding
in with like a
cross.
the
We
tablet itself.
rebranded. We're now Christian Twitter.
Yeah, the tablet itself has like a USB key, but
hey,
it's literally a cross.
I'm considering doing like a Catholic Twitter thing of watching like Christian movies, like the bad, the really bad, and then some of the good. Like
That is
mainly
good
the
ones,
really
yeah.
bad.
Last Temptation of Christ is awesome. The Scorsese movie.
Oh yeah,
Willem
definitely.
Dafoe.
Passion of Christ, Prince
Willem
of Egypt.
Dafoe is Jesus. Everybody, come on.
But then there's the God's Not Dead trilogy. Apparently they made a
Okay.
fourth one as well.
I've heard of that, but I've not
no.
spent the time to watch.
Just
that
don't
type.
use any Jesus clips from South Park for that ever.
Okay. I just to roll it back to the Bounding. What article was it? Was it the one about Matt Walsh and the courting? Was that the one where
Yes.
this all happened?
Yeah. Like,
Okay, that one was a
like I
weird
said, man,
one
just
to
go to
me.
Lofty's Twitter feed. You'll find it.
I have.
we probably
kind of
we probably
avoided
shouldn't get
Lofty
too
for a
deep
long
into it in
time,
here.
so I
Otherwise,
haven't gone near him.
I
Yeah.
mean, Lofty's he's a good boy.
Exactly. And he's Christian too, so I don't know what he's doing essentially trying to convert Lofty. It's just like not that he needs converting. Everything about it is weird.
Well,
It's just-
because Lofty doesn't approach criticism from a religious standpoint, and I'm not saying that that's wrong to do and that you can't do it, but you need to understand that Lofty doesn't do that and isn't going. Just like I'm not going to. You can't. If you tell me to repent, I'm gonna chuckle. I'm not gonna do it. I'm Catholic. I grew up Catholic. I'd say I'm agnostic now at this point. I'm not really religious, but I'm okay with that, and I respect everyone else's views, and I think people should respect others' views as well. And I think if you're telling people to repent, you're not really respecting their religion, right? It's like that's not your business to tell them to do. That's
If anyone should
theirs.
repent, it's J.J. Abrams.
Yeah, I mean, sure, but again, that's,
And Kathleen Kennedy.
That's his
And,
deal.
and
What a final
Kurtzman.
The list grows
Damnation
on.
to
Well,
hell.
J.J. Abrams is Jewish, though, isn't he? Well, he has Yom Kippur.
So I'm
I
going to
think is their
apologize.
Day of
I'm going
Atonement.
to apologize.
Wanna say?
My bad. I'm going to apologize.
Well, I know. I'm just saying,
have
like
to
he wouldn't
apologize for
repent. He wouldn't go to confession. Is all I'm saying. I'm not. There's nothing wrong with him being Jewish. I'm just
What did
saying,
you do to
like,
Star Trek?
there-
You better spin that dreidel 5
Am I
times.
getting that right? Is Yom Kippur the Day of Atonement, or is that Rosh Hashanah? I get those two mixed up all the time. They're very close together.
What do you do if you celebrate Kwanzaa though? What do you do for that one then?
I have no idea.
Neither
I
do
grew
I,
up in a
no.
Jewish area of Toronto. I did not know a lot of people who celebrated Kwanzaa. There was one black guy that went to my elementary school, Warren. He was a nice guy.
Oh, okay. Oh, so you have black friends, so you're not racist now. Okay.
No, I'm saying
I
that
see
like
what-
I'm pretty sure Warren just celebrated Christmas because he was with me at a Catholic school.
And
I
pop
don't know
culture,
anyone who celebrated Kwanzaa, and it's an African holiday, right?
pop culture. He said one, so it's friend, not friends. It's one.
Okay. Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, that does change things.
Yeah,
Do
no,
you
that
have
would be
any
one
other
friend.
black friends? Hey,
Most
Mark.
of the rest of the school was Filipino because it was a Catholic school in a very Jewish area. So it was me, 5 other Italian kids, 1 black guy, and 400 Filipino kids.
Oh shit.
Okay. Okay. But not enough Muslim people. So you failed.
None at
your,
all. It was a Catholic
exercise.
school.
God damn it! All right, there weren't enough. I don't know, trans people. Then there we go. You're a bigot.
That's
There
a
we go.
I mean,
religion.
that's their business. I never asked.
Excuse me, sir. What junk do you have below? I want to know whether it's
Yeah,
the basis whether you get in.
Can I check under the hood real quick?
This is hilarious. Would you guys like to get to the next segment? I reckon that'll be a lot of fun. It might take us a while.
I don't
So
know.
I usually start it at the 1 hour 30 mark, but we might as well start it now. All right. So, I think I messaged you guys about it. Mr. Bug,
Is
you
this the
might
wheel?
not know. Yes, these are the wheels. Let me just play the clip.
What are the wheels?
All right, so this is the part of the show where essentially each of you will pitch me a story. And the elements of the story will depend on these wheels that I spin. Now, I'm going to spin the wheels for each of you guys. You'll get like genre, the theme of it, and I'm pretty sure what IP franchise, so like MCU, Transformers, and whatnot. And after you guys pitch your stories, we'll debate which one's the worst, which one's the best, and which one would definitely get made by a Hollywood studio. That's essentially the pitch. The thing is, I'm passionate about storytelling. I'd love to make a film someday, direct one, write one. I think like as I get better at YouTube and maybe reach that 100K subscribers someday, I just hope to make a bunch of movies essentially and professional short films. I did filmmaking school, so that's essentially the origin story behind this little segment. I guess we'll start off with you, Mark, since we're going in clockwise order.
Okay, so do I wait for a franchise first, or do I just pitch a basic idea?
First, I'll just spin the wheels for all of you guys, and then you guys can get to pitching, essentially.
Okay.
So the first wheel is the genre of your story.
Okay.
All right, let's see what you have.
Please be Dynasty.
It's comedy.
Okay.
That's interesting. That's very interesting. And now we have a different element of the story that you have to include because all Hollywood movies include these elements.
Wait. I didn't sign up for this. Hold on.
Okay.
So,
all right. Okay.
story
no,
has
I'm
to
just
be-
writing a Star Wars film. Or
We've
anything
got
out of Marvel.
racism, feminism, capitalism bad, teen drama.
I'll do
And
my
teen
best.
drama is, either way, a bunch of stuff. So teen drama can be LGBT as well, or literally there's a bunch of stuff in teen drama. Environmentalism and fat body positivity too. I think that's kind of rare in movies, but in commercials, it's absolutely everywhere. All right, so you've got a comedy, and let's see what's the wheel picks from here.
Mm-hmm. You land on the black one.
Capitalism bad.
Oh man.
Okay.
Great. I
Interesting.
love being a communist.
I'm gonna have more Mark the Commie memes.
I mean, you do live in California, Canada. All right. And now we have this wheel. Which popular IP franchise should this story be based on? Because as we all know, Hollywood can't be original.
Some of these are gonna be tough too.
You've got
With what I already have in place, and I've got a comedy. None of these are comedy franchises.
No, their box office numbers are.
Marvel
comedy.
tries. Marvel tries.
It is indeed the case.
Marvel's not even on there.
I know.
I mean, Spider-Man and Batman. That's
Oh, this is too easy.
Okay.
Star
All
Wars.
right. Well, I mean,
Okay, that's the interesting one. All right, so remember what you have, Mark. So that's a comedy, capitalism bad, and Star
my
Wars.
show is
And
called
now-
Obi-Wan Kenobi, and it's on Disney Plus right now.
All right, that's
Vader is
I
the
wish you didn't tell me
IRS.
that yet. I was gonna spin the wheels for the. You know what? You get points for that one. All right, that's actually brilliant. Let me just spin the wheels for Jason, Fat Steven, and Mr.Bug, and then we can get to pitching. That's.
Do you want my Chat GPT story for that, Mark? I just got one written up for it. I can just send it to you.
It would be impossible for Chat GPT to write a worse story than the fucking Obi-Wan Kenobi show.
It literally just wrote.
I wouldn't even be impressed.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I mean. If you said, "Hey, Chat GPT wrote this. Isn't this better than Obi-Wan Kenobi?" I'd be like, "Yes." I don't have to read it.
So don't send it to you.
I'm just saying that it almost doesn't even matter. I would just be like, I don't even need to read this. I know it's going to be better. The bar is like below the floor. All we need to do is take a step on solid ground, and we're good.
All right. Your genre will be.
Round around it goes.
So we don't have the same one.
Mockumentary.
Mockumentary. All right.
Okay, you can make it a documentary if you like.
There being a solid mockumentary to be made about basic training. Basic training as a comedy mockumentary would be hilarious because there's a lot of dumb shit.
If it's too difficult, I'll broaden that to documentary as well.
Mockumentary. It's just a show that's like Modern Family. Or
Spinal Tap.
No.
Okay, I don't know what a mockumentary
is. A deep cut
I'll be honest.
You don't. Have you ever seen Spinal Tap?
Oh yeah.
Yep.
No.
That's a mockumentary.
Absolutely.
That's a mockumentary.
It's the OG. It's like the original one.
All right, let's see what you get from the second wheel.
All right.
All right. Okay. Teen drama.
It's not spinning for us. Is it spinning for anyone else?
The wheel.
No, it's not spinning. No.
It's not spinning?
Do you trust that you got team drama? Or?
I trust him.
Oh, wait. Oh, sorry.
His accent.
Wait. There we go.
Okay, teen drama. Okay.
Teen drama. All right. Sorry
All
about
right.
that. I forgot to share the screen.
Now I need a franchise and I'm off to the races.
All right.
Lord of the Rings.
Let me just remember to share the tab. There we go. Being a boomer.
I just saw in the chat QN says ChatGPT write script worse than Obi-Wan Kenobi.
I don't want to break ChatGPT.
Here's my joke. ChatGPT just says I can't.
I'm afraid I can't do that, Dave.
Oh, that's brilliant. That's brilliant. All right, let's spin the third wheel for your IP franchise, Jason.
Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings. I was close.
Oh,
Lord of the Rings for babies.
Harry
Or
Potter.
Star Wars with shittier lightsabers. That's the best.
Hey, Hogwarts Legacy was a good
heard of
game.
Harry Potter with Star Wars with shittier lightsabers. Killed me, but I don't necessarily.
Yeah, they're
agree,
Force
but
ghosts.
it's
They're
a funny
like spirit
observation.
animals. Yeah.
Yeah, they got spirit animals. Yeah.
Forced animals.
Fat Steven, it's your turn.
I swear to God, if it's
remember-
about eating, I'm out.
You know what? Maybe I'll just give you fat positivity.
No, you won't. Because I'll give you mute positivity and just not say shit and become a mime.
Okay.
Hell no.
Let's have your genre here. Okay. Jason, you remember yours. So mockumentary. I can't remember what the second one was.
Teen drama.
Teen
And it
drama
was Harry Potter.
and Harry Potter. All right. So, all right. And spin it.
What's it? Body positivity.
Okay. It's a crime and a heist. Interesting. Very interesting.
Ocean's 8.
Is that ATE? Thank you.
Your second wheel is
It's Ocean's 8.
No, it's Charlie's Angel.
It is actually it is Ocean's 8. I like that. I spin these wheels and you guys can already make up like stories that exactly fit this pattern. It's as if Hollywood writers actually do what we're doing right now here. It's hilarious. All right, next wheel.
They have a whiteboard. Remember?
Yeah, with dinosaurs on it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dinosaurs in Star Wars. I mean, that's a genius idea. All right. Your IP franchise is
Batman.
Don't be vivid.
Oh my God! So I just get a Mary Jane comic. I'm good. I'll just get a Mary Jane comic and we got it all.
All right. So, crime, feminism, and in this It can be Marvel as well if you'd like. Because this list is like the biggest money makers essentially, and it's Spider-Man obviously is above the MCU. Okay, so Bug, it is your turn.
All right, let's get this over with.
Hang on, the thingy has decided to freeze on me. There we go.
Okay,
Your genre is fantasy sci-fi. Interesting.
Okay, I could probably work something with that.
Mm-hmm. And your second wheel is
Constipation.
I'm gonna spill it again. No repeats. You don't get off that easy. Okay, that's more interesting. Environmentalism.
Avatar.
Yeah, but Avatar made money.
Well, that is true.
That, unfortunately, that's true. I don't know how that piece of shit made any money whatsoever. It's just the most bland movie ever. Anyway, I'm getting off topic. Your third wheel is Transformers. Okay.
Fuck.
That's too easy.
So you've got okay. It actually kind of fits, sci-fi, Transformers, and environmentalism. All right. Don't chop the trees down.
They did that in Gen 1. They protected everything that was making power to fill Energon Cube. Never mind.
Okay. So, Mark, would you like to pitch us your story?
Yeah, I think I'm good. I think I got it. So, my story takes place on the forest moon of Endor, prior to Return of the Jedi, in which the Ewok village was functioning on a very, very lucrative and successful free market capitalist system. Enter our hero, Che Guevara. Che Guevara. Bear. He's a bear. He's an Ewok.
Okay. Yeah, I get it.
Pranks the village chief in a series of subversive psyop campaigns, which eventually results in a slapstick comedy film with the chief constantly getting hit by stuff and stepping on rakes and things like that. It's all very, very funny, but eventually results in an uprising which overthrows the village chief and ends with him being eaten, like roasted on one of those things. But it's all very happy. They're singing Yub Nub. It's great. And then they eat the chief, capitalism is destroyed, and Return of the Jedi is ready to happen when they capture our heroes in those nets and then try to cook Luke and Han.
Okay.
And pitch.
Interesting.
Hey, man, I think I made an anti-capitalist comedy in the Star Wars universe pretty quickly and easily there. That was all right.
That was pretty good. I was impressed.
I'm going to give myself the victory noise.
Nice. Oh, I wish I had a soundboard. I only have the Jonah laugh on here, unfortunately. So I can give you just this,
I think...
Yeah, that's all I got.
Our movie to have like the Benny Hill music going as these like revolution
nice.
the chief. He's
Nice.
burnt alive, but it's all just like very funny.
All right, Jason, give us your pitch.
All right. So mine is a mockumentary, and it starts out appearing to be a documentary. What it is it's called Homecoming at Hogwarts, where the film crew is following Harry Potter and the gang as they return back in the fall for homecoming. And it starts out as just a documentary for promoting the school, etc. However, suddenly students begin to die. They're dying from the Tide Pod challenge. They're dying from the chokeout challenge, and they're trying to figure out what the heck is going on, right? Harry Potter, you follow Harry Potter, he discovers that there is a magic mirror that's being passed around that has TikTok on it. So House Slytherin has a magic mirror, and they're passing along amongst the students, and they're watching these TikTok videos that are daring the students to do the chokeout challenge and do the Tide Pods and stuff like that. And so they break the mirror, and therefore they save the day. And it's told in the format of a mockumentary.
That is actually kind of wholesome. Like I can just picture like the mirror whispering discreetly and evilly.
It would
shall
be
choke out your brothers and sisters.
it'll be all the bad stuff on TikTok in a magic mirror because they thought they were safe at Hogwarts. They thought there was a spell to keep that crap out, but someone in House Slytherin brought in a little handheld magical mirror.
Oh, that sounds pretty good. I mean, I'd publish that, as a Hollywood producer. That's Stephen. Your pitch.
Tampon too far. No, that's not the name of the. No, I guess.
You don't have to give it a name. Like, okay, yeah. I mean, if you go at like the full length.
Okay, I'm gonna call it Spider-Man. Where's my manager? That's what I'm calling it. Spider-Man has to team up, I guess, with a bunch of other feminists to fight society for equality, for women's rights, not in just one universe, but in all of the feminiverse. Because without equal rights, they can never see the manager and tell them how they actually feel and get that pay gap reduced. While doing so, they have to steal a USB drive that is nothing more than updated resumes for all of their workplaces across the Faniverse. And then Peter looks to Mary Jane and goes, I'm just going to jump out this window. My job is done. No, I'm not going to catch myself with a web.
Very somber.
That's it. It's very somber, yes.
I mean, I can just picture it, just like.
And while he's falling to his graceful, quiet sleep, he finishes the rest.
He'd actually probably survive that. Spider.
No. He's gonna land hard. And while he's falling, he's gonna finish the Winds of Winter and say, "You're welcome, George R.R." And then fade to black.
I mean, how high is
fade to pink? Fade to pink.
You see, I'm struggling in my believability as a big Spider-Man nerd. I struggle to believe that Peter the impact would kill him. I mean, he has survived plenty. I mean,
because the plot
how high is the building? Is it like a 10-story, like 11 maybe like a 12-story building? I mean, what? I'll let you.
I just says it just falls.
Also, just go straight to the hospital after, like a post-credit scene.
Oh,
you could do that.
Okay, I guess fine. He just jumps out the window, and what breaks his fall is just a bunch of protesting feminists.
Oh, how about he snaps his neck like Gwen Stacy?
That's not funny. I actually like Gwen Stacy in that movie. I'm gonna get into that one. I like Spider-Gwen and Ghost Spider.
How about he falls into a fridge?
Oh, I don't want to steal Indy's thunder. Come on.
I thought you were going to bring up Kyle Rayner's fucking fridge moment.
Yeah, exactly. I thought it too. Yeah. All right, Mr. Bug, your pitch.
My pitch. All right, let's do this.
We're waiting in anticipation.
Oh, sorry about that. I hit my freaking mute button for a second.
Oh, okay. No, you had like a dramatic.
I was about to say, is he having a sip? It's like this works better when.
Yeah, he's like, I need a beer for this story.
I was about to speak, and then I noticed my mic wasn't on. I was like, what the fuck? But okay. I'm seriously gonna do the pitch now. I have no title for this because I just did not think that much through. But we take place on the plains of Cybertron. Our main characters are a group of Insecticons, your standard bug people. You're the fill-in for natives. Suddenly, Shockwave comes in out of nowhere, goes, "Hey guys, I want to just drill into the dirt here and take all the natural resources. Let's have a deal." A couple of the Insecticons are going to be like.
But the question is, are they melting the ice caps? That's very important.
The what?
Melting the ice caps.
They could be. I don't know. I don't think they have ice caps on Cybertron. They have
I was about to say, are there ice caps
short
on
circuit.
Isn't it like a Coruscant type planet where it's just all
there has to be ice caps for this to work. All right. This is the producer's demands. Is there ice
honestly
caps
even the words "the plains of Cybertron" made me be like, "Are there?"
Are you Taika Waititi, True Pop? I didn't get this.
No.
There.
I'm the stupid boss that essentially inserts stupid notes on your script. No, it has to include this and this and this.
Just call it Transformers Ice and Blunder.
Yeah, you go.
Okay, I guess they could be an ice cap, but whatever. We'll add ice caps later. But yeah, a group of Insecticons are kind of bought up into the glitz and the glamour that Shockwave's promising, because it's like, oh, look at all this nice technology and all the stuff that we could do with all your natural resources. But then later they discover, oh my god, he's exploiting our land and our resources. We have to fight back against all the evil, the industrialism and all the evil crap. And then they boot him out and he fucks off. And then that's it. That's the end.
Mm-hmm.
And then I guess Stephen Lang comes in an amp suit, just says, "Oh, I'm gonna do this shit too." Whatever.
All right. Which one do we guys think? Chat, maybe I'll ask you. Which one do you think will definitely be made by Hollywood?
Harry
I
Potter.
reckon Pat Stevens.
Yeah,
I
the
think
Harry
Harry-
Potter one was actually like that's something people would
Yeah.
watch.
No. I think Jason's is the best one, but we have to think like which greedy corporation.
Like no, screw Harry
Actually,
Potter.
published.
Get Disney.
They're actually communist.
you have to-
communist. That's great.
For more great writing like that, more great pitches, check out Jupiter on Indiegogo.
Oh, that was the
There
best
you go,
selfless plug
everybody.
ever. You should get in a fridge and just sail away.
That was perfect timing, and we all got to grind.
You just need that cup to have Jupiter on the side too, so you can sip your tea every time you win.
Second issue stretch goal. Yeah, that's
Oh,
what I'll do.
okay. I'll just go back to my corner.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Rocky, okay.
All right. I think like Fat Stevens would probably win. In terms
No,
of
I'm a white male. It would never get done.
that you do
Say
raise
you're
a good point
trans
there.
and you'll get it in.
I'd rather not.
I think yours would be most likely to be made by a greedy Hollywood producer. I think nominate you for that. Essentially, it's based on a popular IP. You've got feminist undertones. I mean, you've got all the tick boxes there. I think like it's a close. Like Mark, I could see actually yours being like a good on comedy kind of parody kind of thing. You
You
really
have to make it really like dark.
It'd be adult swim
by the end of
style.
it.
kind of like have
There's
you watched
no
the
chance
Death of
Disney
Stalin?
would let that fly.
Have you watched like the Death of Stalin? That's like a comedy.
I've not seen that, but I've heard good things about it.
Yeah, I got to see that.
Yeah, definitely. I can see it also like a type of movie. So it's like a close call between you two guys. Essentially, like the best story in here, and I think Pat Stevens would be probably get made by Hollywood because they have no idea what a good story is. Yeah, thank you for.
Wow, did you
But-
say
Along,
by saying I
like
don't know what a good story is?
But they would try to
I
cancel
think you
me
haven't said yours yet.
Yeah,
right?
they would try to cancel yours. Yours is
because it's Harry Potter, you know. So
Exactly. So that's my reasoning. Like yours would probably never get made. You know, Pat Stevens would.
Mm.
You know, that's my logic of it. I mean, it's not always the best script that gets made into a film. You know,
But look at this puppy, isn't he great?
They don't.
Mark,
than
you
anything
could
coming out of
have
Hollywood.
included a
Cold one
puppy.
on my pitch.
it's no
Eddie!
Wookiee. It's no Wookiee.
I
mean-
put fucking Ewoks in there, and you're telling me I didn't put puppies in my thing? Are you kidding me?
You made me put a fucking ice cap in there, and Cyborg does not have an ice cap.
Well, I mean, like, let's face it. If there's a Star Wars equivalent to puppies, like it's the teddy bears, right? And like,
Yeah, but I don't want to
Just
punch
me?
a puppy like I do an Ewok.
it's not the fucking Jawas. I feel like they're probably gross.
Mark has a point.
A
You
Jawa
do
can
need
fix
more.
my car at least.
They're small and cute. I guess it's the fucking porgs, isn't it?
Have you guys ever seen Phantasm? The first Phantasm.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So in my head canon, those little guys in Phantasm are Jawas. That's my head canon.
That's pretty good.
Oh, no. The thing is, Mr. Bug, you didn't put enough cutesy stuff in there. I mean, you did have those ice games. You do get points for that. I mean, I suggested.
Yeah, see, that's why I stream with puppies, man. People love them.
Exactly. You need
They're
something
great. Look at
marketable.
this guy.
I mean, I'm sorry, my fucking cat is in the other room. I mean, what do you want me to
Hold
do?
on, I'm gonna shill right now. Well, you guys should go out to McDonald's and try the McFlounder, brought to you by Little Mermaid 2023.
Oh boy, that's not
It
appetizing.
comes with
at all.
crabs. Sorry. I'm sorry. I got one for Star Wars too. Welcome to the new She Public. Don't ask what the hilt is. But it is absorbent.
I know what it is. It's a female reproductive system, everybody.
Come on, Mark's story at least deserves where
I know anatomy.
Yeah. Mark's story at least deserves. Where is it? Oh, I'll take it right there. Oh, there you go. Here, the Bob Iger, please clap with Jeb Bush's body.
Yeah.
That's a nice one.
Sponsored by Hungry Grogu's. And of course,
This is
Jay
our old
pulling
meme
out of
issue.
his new
Oh.
race car bed at FND meetup.
Dude, I would
Alright, let me
unironically
just
have a
enhance.
race carpet because that looks awesome.
That looks
I
like
mean,
a nice
yeah.
one. That's good and
Exactly.
big.
So when I could find that was blue and could cover up the car.
Look at him just standing there triumphantly, like nothing can touch me.
And then, and then I got my Marvel Studio exec right there.
Oh, okay.
I love that. I still heard people repeat.
Which one is that? I don't know who is that.
That's Marcy Darcy from
Married with Children. Right? Yeah.
Oh god.
I don't know that reference.
Okay, all right.
The Al Bundy show.
All right.
Like,
Okay, now
no
it's
pigs.
clicking.
Oh, sorry, I got memes for days. Like I literally have a whole folder. You know when Jay
No,
fell
literally,
asleep
we
last year?
do need memes definitely on the show. I don't think it's popular enough. The show, yeah.
Do you guys remember when Drunk fell asleep and everyone made a meme of him sleeping?
Oh yeah,
it was last year.
It was.
I have a whole I have a whole folder of him sleeping in different movie scenes. Like I literally have him lying on the pedestal where Frodo's putting the ring down, but it's right at his crotch.
Oh god.
Oh man, I'm a dork.
What I was gonna say there though about the drunk 3PO blue, like I was at the bar when he pulled up, and it was astonishing to me how many people were like, "Oh my god, drunk 3PO pulled up in a Ferrari, drunk 3PO pulled up in a Lamborghini." I'm just like, guys, that's a Corvette. It's not on the same level as the Lamborghini and the Ferrari.
He couldn't get the door open though, right? He couldn't get.
I mean, I think it was the child locks were on, so she came around and opened it up. But that might have been part of the deal, though, where it's like she opens up the door for him, and that's like, part of the entrance. But at the same time, though, I thought the big thing was like, guys, Corvettes, they're nice. They're nice sports cars. They're not Lamborghinis and Ferraris. Come on.
Oh wait a sec. Well, I only just went back to the stream. I just saw that. That's brilliant. That's brilliant.
Oh, was that Boba Fett? I was like, wait, who's the guy in front?
Yeah, it's the Fett and the Furious. There you go.
Well, I had to click in that he was on a swoop bike and not an actual motorcycle.
It's all about family.
Oh god. Family. I probably would watch that though.
Oh, you definitely. We have a meme from Marc The Cyborg in here. I'm gonna share it as well. What's that app, by the way?
Diversity Hires. That came from Chris. That came from Chris Gore. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I remember that was on FNT, wasn't it?
There's the Nooner.
Yeah. Oh, Nooner. I'm
Hi. Welcome to Steven.
All right. We've got a little meme here to show.
Hello.
This might be news to me.
Fat Steven JFG.
Is that a voice changer for AI thing?
No, I thought that was the meme that I made. I was like, wait, this doesn't sound like me.
Right. We've got a Marc The Cyborg meme here to share. Let me know if you can hear
a meme involving me. Okay. I was like, because I didn't make any memes. I was like, well, or at least not recently. Oh god, I'm Voltron or a Transformer.
Oh my god, you're Spike. Or Spike's kid. Oh, come on, he still has one leg. Get rid of one. No, he should have changed the leg.
I mean, if you look at it from one angle, I mean, the legs are the biggest part. Obviously, they are. They should be. All right. Thanks for that, Extra Zero.
Well done, Extra Zero.
God damn it, use dark mode.
Sorry, I enjoy lights.
I hate that StreamYard doesn't have a dark mode.
I actually have an app for Google that makes it dark. So everything right now is dark.
Oh.
Yeah, I can turn it on and on. It's called Night Eye.
Night Eye. Okay, cool. I'll check it out.
I think that'll be a wrap up for the show.
Look at that sleepy puppy.
30 minutes. Yeah, they're sleeping.
He's out like a light. Look at him. He's so cute.
Oh.
It must be like my voice that's putting it to sleep. It's very.
No, I'm telling you, man. It's just because he's a great puppy. In this case, the Mexicans sent their best.
Okay.
I'll give you some stuff if you want something, but I can go through them.
Does it involve puppies?
Yes, the first one actually does involve puppies.
Yeah.
And here we have Lady the Tramp with Drunk.
Jesus. Is that his intestines?
That's the spaghetti.
Yeah, no, I know it's the spaghetti, but I'm like, what are they pulling out of Jay?
Oh wait, that's Critical Drinker. My bad.
No, Critical Drink as well.
That's good.
Uh,
Aw.
that's adorable.
And there's for the Harry Potter documentary.
There you go.
Oh wait, here we go. Forrest Gump.
Nice.
I'll get one for where. Oh yeah, I think this is the John Cusack one's probably my favorite.
Yeah, say anything, man.
He blocked me the same night he blocked Tom. We got
Wow.
blocked by him in the same night because he was just being a weirdo.
What happened to him, man?
Which Peter Gabriel song is it playing in the jukebox there?
In Your Eyes? Is it In Your Eyes?
Oh, is it?
Where,
Good stuff.
wait, where's?
That's the thing that I always will disagree with Patrick Bateman on. Phil Collins' Genesis is nothing compared to Peter Gabriel Genesis. That has nothing to do with video games, everybody. But Google it or Spotify it.
Wait,
Peter Gabriel stuff.
Where is
I
it?
might do.
But hey, Phil Collins' Tarzan soundtrack was all right. I'll give him that.
Where's the Lord of the Rings one? I thought I had it here.
Oh,
here it is.
all right.
Oh my god.
I think I downloaded the wrong Lord of the Rings here.
Isn't attached there. Isn't that the Jack Black sketch that they did at the MTV Awards, where he's got the one ring as a Prince Albert? He's like, "Don't worry, everybody, I got the ring. It's all taken care of." And like, "Oh my god, where did you put it there?" And then, not Galadriel, sorry, Arwen is Sarah Michelle Gellar, and she removes it. It's a good sketch. It's you search Jack Black Lord of the Rings sketch, and it'll probably come up.
All right.
It's from around when the movies came out.
All right. I just wanted to finish out the show. Well, as usual, it's like 1 hour 30. Thanks for showing the memes, Fat Steven.
No problem.
Next time, I'll ask Legion of Memers if they could meme any bits of the show, because we had some good laughs here. You guys were absolutely fantastic. A pleasure to talk with. Let's everyone do outros. So, Mark, would you like to promote anything while you're on the way?
Sure, everybody. I'm Marc the Cyborg. I stream on my YouTube channel, Marc the Cyborg, as well as Rumble. Although lately, Streamlabs multi-streaming's been messing up, so I've just been on YouTube for the last little bit. But I stream fighting games where I play with a fight stick these days a lot. I can probably try to lift it up for you here. An old school arcade stick. It's been a lot of fun, and I'm kind of getting myself prepped for Street Fighter 6. So tonight I'm going to continue what I started just before this stream, and I'm going to knock out some of the quick little story modes that are in Street Fighter 5. And what's interesting about that is they're all quite short and like little character stories. They're like 3 fights each, and it gives you a little taste of how to use each character. I open up the command list, try to see the moves. There's a Z pattern that looks like it's in Street Fighter 5 where you have to go to do certain moves, forward, down, back, and then down, forward. And that's one that had never been comfortable for me at all on a D-pad. But now that I'm doing it here, I'm firing off some of Vega's special moves, some of Cammy's that involve that pattern. And I think I'll be in a good spot for Street Fighter 6. Also, X-Ray Girl and I are going to be starting a show where we talk about dating advice called The Dating Game, where she plays on her arcade stick there and we play games and kind of like Love Line style take questions from the audience, because during the Vegas meetup, I noticed that there's a lot of dudes in our audience who could maybe use some help with their social skills. And I'm a guy who spent a lot of time being very socially awkward. I'm like a computer brain person, probably somewhere on the spectrum. And I learned how to trick people into thinking I'm charming. So I'm hoping to help some people with that in a way that isn't, hey, become a male feminist and try to insidiously work your way into their good favors and then get a sexual impropriety charge against you. Or the other side, you're probably not going to be Andrew Tate, so you shouldn't try to be an ultra alpha male dude and
I have much to say about Andrew Tate
because that I think is kind of bad for you too. Yeah. But I think while you might not ever be Andrew Tate out there, you might actually be Marc the Cyborg someday, with hopefully without the amputation. Keep both legs, but you know. And I think X-Ray Girl is going to be able to help with that. And I'm planning to kind of start going full-time YouTube and have my part-time gig be more of a secondary job, because right now I'm full-time regular force military, and I'm planning to kind of start the process of leaving so that I can talk about more things, as well as for my own mental health. I think the 39-year-old me is maybe at the end of my military career rope. So I guess look forward to seeing a lot more of me on the internet, but it'll probably take some time. I guess that's all. But thank you, Jojo.
Mark, you're winning at life. You're doing a great job.
Exactly.
Sorry, I was muted for the barking puppy. Puppy.
Right.
But thank you very much, Jason. I appreciate it.
Jason, would you like? I know you're gonna promote your Indiegogo. Yeah, go ahead. Tell us tell the audience where they can find you.
Yeah, so Jupiter is on Indiegogo and Kickstarter, but on Indiegogo we're approaching $5,300. Want to keep that going. Everybody who backs is going to get the Captain Klein Bottle fan club membership card automatically as we hit that stretch goal. Jupiter is 40 pages full color for $10. And it's fitting that we ended this show with memes because I am cooking up the next stretch goal. I'm partnering with the Legion of Memers to create an authentic, official Legion license to meme. Stay tuned for more announcements about this later this week and into next week. But this is the $8,000 stretch goal. If the campaign gets to $8,000 on Indiegogo and Kickstarter combined, all backers are going to receive this official sanctioned Legion of Memers license to meme. It is crazy out there. People are getting arrested for memes. People are getting convicted of memes under false pretenses. We all need to stick together, and we need to make sure that the Legion of Meme keeps us together by having this official sanctioned license to meme. So stay tuned for more about this stretch goal, but this is coming your way.
That's
All
pretty awesome.
Ooh, I do need that.
All right, Stephen.
How am I supposed to? Oh, all right, okay. Well, Fat Steven, I've had a gaming channel now for 3 years. We're trying to get up to the 6K mark on our channel. I do graphics and thumbnails for not only other people who want to come on Wednesdays and just shoot the shit, have a conversation, get your graphics done for free. That's how it works on Wednesdays. Just hit me up. You can find me on Valiant Renegade with WD Pro. I handle all their thumbnails as well as all their graphics, logos, and such. You can find me on Rumble, Twitter, and YouTube. Pretty much I'm everywhere. And we're almost ready to build a new computer. So where's my more parts.
By the way, guys, if you want to find any of these gentlemen, I've put there everything in the description, links and stuff. I'll put it Mr.Bug's Twitter as well on there. As well.
I just saw one thing in the comment. I wanted to know it's not a pickup artist stream. That's not. I'm talking more about like developing social skills to interact with people. Just if you're saying, hey, I like this girl at my work. How should I talk to her? I want to just say, hey, be normal. Say hi. Don't be weird. And they will probably not interpret you as creepy.
Exactly.
It's not
that's
a
what I want to help
artist.
people avoid.
It's just to make sure you don't piece yourself when you go out the door.
No. But I mean, but also for talking to dudes, right? Because like you need social skills to talk to other men as well, not just women. And I think that one thing that's very difficult for people who grew up kind of on the internet, and Jojo, please don't step on my moment here, baby. I think she's jealous of the Chihuahua. I think that I spent a lot of time being very awkward and not having the social skills to very easily make new friends, to talk to people, to get girls to like me and stuff. And it took a long time to figure out the little things I can do that help people interpret what I'm actually trying to tell them and not misinterpret it as something which they should feel uncomfortable with. And I think that those social skills are beneficial in all aspects of life, but I think focusing it around dating and relationships will give a pretty clear goal as to what I want to kind of help people strive towards. It's like, hey, if you are kind of an introverted person that is scared to even say, hi, my name is blank, it's going to be pretty hard to say, do you want to go get a cup of coffee or a drink together or something?
Mark,
right?
do you want to get a cup of coffee?
Yeah.
Mark, do you want to get a cup of coffee?
Right here.
Actually, I quit coffee. I went to G Fuel, but yeah,
I'll get you back on it, baby.
I mean, Mark, that sounds absolutely great. And I think, like, I'll admit it, I'm an introvert as well. Don't really like talking to people. And I think, like, the number one problem with guys in their 20s or late teens is that they're incredibly afraid of rejection, and that just rules over them.
Yeah.
And
you gotta find a way to just not only be okay with it, but you can find a way to spin rejection into something that can be beneficial to you. And I don't mean, oh, if she says no the first time, just keep at it. No. If she says no the first time, she's probably not into you. Don't think of her as a possibility. But if you take the rejection well and you're cool about it, it might be. I've had it before where I made a move on a girl who I was not friends with, but, we were acquaintances. We went to high school together. We knew each other. We were out at a bar. And she kind of rejected me. She was like, yeah, no, I don't really see it that way. And I'm like, yeah, okay, cool. And was really respectful and charming to her, still was friendly to her the rest of the night. And a week later, she called me and was like, hey, I have a friend who I think you would really like. And I told her that I'm going to be hanging out with you this Friday. So you're free this Friday to come meet my friend, right? And then I ended up dating her friend for like 6 months, you know? So sometimes being rejected and just taking it in stride and still being pretty cool tells people, hey, yeah, I'm not the kind of person that's going to get really creepy on you. Yes, baby Jojo, I love you too.
So you're saying don't hide in their bushes and hope for an answer. No. Yeah.
Don't do anything that can be conceived as creepy. However, don't be tricked into thinking that talking to people is immediately creepy and there's nothing you can do. And like that's kind of where I see like the red pill guys going. They're just like, they view it as this war between men and women. I'm just like, yo, guys, chill the fuck out. It's not that hard. You just got to be okay with people being like, yeah, no, I'm sorry, but no. It's like, yeah, okay, cool.
Can I add some advice to that quickly? The girls at Hooters are not going to date you, and strippers are only want your money.
Yeah, that's probably true. I'll tell you, here's where the girls at Hooters might want to date you. If you also work at Hooters and talk to them a lot and you get to know them, that's when they might actually want to date you. But I mean, don't.
Well, I'm sure.
I'm writing this down.
Another thing is, just be calm and don't go after a person in the service industry. Okay, like talk to someone you know first.
Don't open up with "I'm a TikToker."
or a YouTuber.
Yeah, don't tell them you're a YouTuber unless you're sure they're going to be okay with it. Or in the case of X-Ray Girl, me saying, "Hey, I make YouTube videos," she came just shy of being like, "What's YouTube?"
Really?
Now she's a bigger YouTuber than I am.
I can't even open up with I'm a network engineer.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, those are the types of jobs that it probably would have been wise to go to. You know, engineer, policeman, fireman.
Yeah.
You know, stuff that it's a recurring job.
But
anyway, check out Marc's channel on there. Can we find that show? Will that show be on your channel or actually?
I think what we're going to be doing is starting it on my channel as the stream, and then we'll private it on my channel and move it over to the new channel we're going to make for the actual stuff. I want to call the channel Human Cyborg Relations. I did make a channel that was that was brand new that I've tied to my email with it. But X-Ray Girl says that she might want to change her fitness channel into it because she was planning to just shut it down. And that one already has 900 subs and about 1,000 watch hours. So it'll kind of get us closer to monetization. I expressed concerns with being like, hey, but what if the people who subscribe to a channel who, you know, wanted to watch you work out are now seeing me talking about relationship stuff, and they're like, hey, this isn't what I signed up for. But she said, no, they'll just unsubscribe if that's the case, but it gives us a good head start.
But Marc, there's a good segue. Your first, and I'm not trying to tell you how to do, but like your first episode maybe could be
started with doing yoga. And
how did you interact?
Do you want to get a girl like this?
No, how did you interact?
Sign up to my club where you pay $500 a month to talk about how you can be a total alpha.
No, how to interact with the opposite sex at the gym.
Yeah, I'd say in general, don't. I don't know. You kind of
you know
can.
what I mean,
though.
Risky.
I think. Well, here, tell you what. Hitting on a girl at the gym, that's not something that if you're an awkward introvert, you're ready for.
You know what I mean, though. There's like ways how to act at a gym. You can kind of branch it out. Like there's
well, I mean, how to act as a gym. Your priority is your workout. That's it. That's the best way to act as a gym.
What do you do if a girl approaches you at the gym?
Hey, I mean, if she talks to you, that's cool, but just be cool, you know. Just,
she was dressed as an officer, but
I like Matt Steven is just invested in this.
Dressed as a police officer.
He's got some role playing figured out.
I hate gyms. I usually just cycle. Like I'll just take the cycle paths when I can, and I'll just.
I mean, you can interact at a gym, and you can be around a bunch of pretty girls at the gym and not make them feel uncomfortable. All you have to do is just not stare at them. You know, like you can appreciate.
And if they have a phone and record themselves, do not dare even take a foot in their direction. Don't look at the direction. They'll be.
Yeah, but I honestly I think those encounters are probably less common than you think. But I think as long as you're not, don't stare at the phone is what I would say, because then it looks like you're staring at the camera, and the audience watching the TikTok perceives you looking right in their eyes. Whatever you do, don't look at the phone. That would be my advice. But
I did not get arrested at the gym.
I'm just saying that the gym pickup is a pretty advanced tactic. It's one I don't even think I'd be able to do successfully, to be honest. So when I go to work out, I'm focused on me. Right? I'm getting my reps in, getting the sets done, getting it over, so I can get home and play video games and be like, yeah.
I just listen to Sabaton, just do my thing. We'll ignore the rest of the guys. Anyway, on that long-winded sidetrack,
Sorry.
Mr. Bug.
Oh yeah. See, this is
Would
why
you like
I
to-
guess on EFAP more than anything else because I talk too much.
You turned the 1 hour 30 to 1 hour 15, so 1
But
hour
we're under
45,
5. We're doing good. You got off easy.
I mean, ideally, YouTube wants 2 hours, so I guess I should say thank you for.
Jesus.
I mean, I can
I
vamp
do
for
4.
15. You know, just full screen me. You guys can all leave. I'll get your extra 15.
I do 8 hours a day on YouTube.
My channel is yours. All right, you can make
Yeah,
original
well, I'm
content that
kidding,
YouTube will like. Anyway, Mr. Bug, would you like to promote your stuff? I think it's your Twitter, all right? Mainly, you promote.
Mostly my Twitter right now. Like I am working on a video for my own channel, but I had to delay that a bit because I had gotten sick and I was just like, I can't do it.
What was
but-
that channel? It was something about a Justice League Unlimited, if I remember.
Yeah, I'm doing a video on Killmonger and a character called Arisia from Justice League. I'm comparing the two of them because they both share very
Definitely.
similar story beats, and I don't wanted to demonstrate how one did it right, the other one did not, and that's in the process of working. I was toying with some stuff, but working on a script for it because I'm actually planning this out, not just babbling like an idiot like I am right now. But yeah, that's the thing I'm doing. Otherwise, you can find me on Twitter at Mr.Bug with the Legion of Beavers, or if I'm just editing something for anybody that needs it, and that's all I got there.
All right. For our people still watching, thank you again for sticking with us. Hope all of you guys had fun. And as for my channel, I'm hoping to release much more often these live streams, weekly live streams, Sundays, 8 p.m. British time, and hopefully I'll be launching much more movie reviews, much more little pop culture news segments, stuff like that. So expect eventual more content towards the channel towards the end of the year. I really want to get the ball rolling with this whole YouTube thing, especially if I get monetized. So that will be all for today. Thank you so much, guys, for sticking with us, and I'll see you all guys next week. See ya!
Later, everybody.
Hello.
Pop.